Hey, welcome back everybody. We're just doing some final touches on the wagon before it goes live on the website. The thing I want to do today is replace the rear hatch shocks. Now you can see the shocks are actually holding up the rear hatch, and the weather is warmer. When it gets cold weather, they will not work as well. And there you go. They're still somewhat strong. Most people would probably leave that, but I want to put in some fresh, brand new, factory original, I think Stabless, not sure how to pronounce it, rear hatch shocks. And you can see the shocks go right down in there. There's one, and these are the originals. But you know, I'm trying to do a concourse restoration on this wagon, and that deserves to be replaced on this beautiful vehicle. So the first thing you do, we just took out, that is the light, the dome light that is actually right here, and we took out our panel, and there's where the dome light disconnects, and you can see we took out the panel, and all I did was unhook the headliner. There's a hook there and right there. I'm sorry, that's not the one. Where is it? There it is. Right there. And there's a little bar on the headliner. See the little bar? They just clip into there and it unhooks. And we can take out the panel. And what that does, it exposes a bolt there. And you can see I've already got my wrench on this one over here. And we can just start loosening these. And a bolt there. So I'll go ahead and get those out. But before I do that, I want to make sure I prop up the hatch. I'll use like a broom handle or something I have here in the shop. And then we will pop off, you see that little bitty clip right there. That clip pops off, so then we can pull that stud or bolt through there, and that allows me to disconnect the front of the shock. And then we're going to go ahead and pop in some brand new ones. So let's go ahead, get this supported, and go ahead and start work on that. Now the part that I didn't show, and sorry for not showing this guys, is the removal of this header panel that covers the speakers in the back. You need to be very careful when you do this, because the lip of the panel, see this lip right here on the edge? That lip actually tucks in right here to the gasket that goes around the side windows. So you have to put a little plastic pry tool in there and peel back the gasket a little bit to get that lip out. And then these clips right here and right here clip to the underside of the panel. And a lot of guys, when they remove these, they try to pry on it and they break those clips, or they break these, you know, they put force on this and it causes this is like a cardboard / particle board material, and they cause it to snap. As you can see, this one was done correctly and it's in perfect condition, which is very, very hard to find. So, all right, the first thing we're going to do is I got a little small screwdriver here. We're going to pop out our clip. There it went, just popped out. See if I can show you guys up in here. I got to fish the clip out of there, but there we go. You see, we popped the clip right off the edge there, and the clip actually shot back behind there, so I got to get that out. Okay, you guys can barely see the pin right there. I know it's hard to see. We're going to go ahead and start trying to coerce that pin out of there. And you can see I've started to pry that pin out. Now it's a little loose. So we're going to re-grease these. See, there's grease all over there. That keeps it from binding in there. And this car was in such good shape, you can still see the shiny grease is still on this pin. There we go. You got to get the hatch just right to remove the leverage to get the pin to come out. Or to remove the weight on it. There we go, got it. All right, and there is the pin that just slid out. So now that shock is detached from this side, and pull it out of here. Boom. And there we go. We have our shock out. All right. All right, we'll lower this hatch back down. And I'm going to go get our replacement shock, and we'll go ahead and finish this side, and then we'll go start on that side. We'll compare the original shock to the OEM shock we just ordered. We can see there, boom. And we can see it's actually the same manufacturer, Liftomat, and you can see here, Stabless Liftomat. Same manufacturer, same exact OEM part. So we're going to go ahead and now put this one, our good one, back in over here and try to get everything connected. All right, before we put our shock back in there, this is just some Scotch-Brite. We want to go ahead, clean up the old grease that's on the original pin, and we'll rub it with the Scotch-Brite a little bit, and that'll smooth it out and make it go in easier. There we go. That'll keep it lubricated for the next 30 years. All right, now, there we go. We just put a dab of grease around there, and that'll ensure that there's no rusting that goes on where this pin goes through the hinge. All right, we got our pin there. There's our clip pin. In the back of the shock actually fits through there. Fits perfect. Plenty of space. All right. So we'll just lift up the hatch here. And we'll just feed that guy right back through there. There we go. All the way back up in there. Okay, after finagling with that damn bolt right there, I got it in there. Now we're just going to push our little C-clip or whatever you want to call it back in there. There we go. Voila. That side is done. And you notice the hatch is staying up fine, even with the one that has some wear on it over there. So now I just need to go back under here. And we'll tighten our bolt, tighten our bolt back up here. There we go. That's never going anywhere. All right. So one side down. I'll go ahead and tackle this other side, and then I'll show you guys how the hatch works with a fresh set of shocks in there. All right, guys, we have both shocks replaced, and you guys are going to love this. This is how it's supposed to work. And I'm sure very few people have actually seen how these work correctly, because those are always worn out. Watch this. Boom! Look how nice that is. So it's pretty slow, and then it picks up speed. And then when you go down here, right about here is where the weight of it kind of overcomes the shocks. So see right here, right there. That's nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the headliner back in there and reconnect everything, and those are restored. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to address on the wagon is the driver's side window runner. Now, let me show you what that is. So you can see around the window, there is a felt style gasket that runs up and that the window goes into. That's called the window runner. And let me show you. Let me roll down the window, show you how that works. Okay, there we go. We have our window down, and right here, you see how that window runner, see how it is broken? Let me get at it from this angle. Okay, there we go. You see how it started to separate right there? But it's basically a felt groove. See the groove that goes up around here? And we can see right here, it has started to crack and separate. And fortunately, I have some old stock, original Mercedes. Here we go. Window runners. Now I have a full set here. However, I've inspected the rest of the vehicle and it's in excellent condition. There's nothing wrong with the runners on the other windows. They're all in good shape. So it's just that driver's side, and obviously because that's the side that was being used. And we can see, here you go, that's an example of it. See, you have the felt on this side, and this is like the gasket that snaps into the window. And let's see, this one, here we go. This one right here is actually for the front driver's door. So you can see it's this big gasket. That's where it goes up into the corner, but this goes around and kind of curves down right here. That's that curve right there. So we're going to go ahead and we have to, there we go. There's that piece right there. So we're going to use one of these and replace this one. And to do that, I need to pop off the door panel, actually remove the window, disconnect it from the track. And then, let's see, I don't know if I'm going to have to remove the rear view mirror. I might, I don't know. I'm just looking at this one. Yeah, see, it's just split right along there. All right, so let's go ahead and get this door panel off. And I'll probably do this in time lapse. And we'll go ahead and get this replaced. Okay, we have the door panel off, and while we're in here, we're going to do a few things. We're going to place that window runner. We're also going to lubricate the door strap that's in here. We're going to lubricate the window track, and we're going to apply a new membrane. We're going to put a new plastic protective barrier over here because in the past someone had been in here probably to replace a window motor and they didn't put the protective plastic membrane back in here. So we'll address that later. So as far as this window track, I'm going to have to pop off this chrome piece right here and this rubber window scraper, this felt piece right here. And then we can see the window runner. See, it stops right there, but we have to pull the window out and then pull it out of its track right here. So I'll go ahead and get started on removing this. Okay, as you saw in the time lapse, we went ahead and removed the outer window wiper or window scraper. A couple of the clips came off with the scraper, and those two are still on the car. And we also removed the side mirror. That gives us access. There we go. There's that original window runner right there. So we can see on this side it runs way down there. See how far down it goes into the door? And on this side, it actually stops right there. So we have to actually remove the window now, so we can get this piece out. So if we go around here to this side, and also this gives me a chance to clean up all the dust that was underneath that trim piece for years. Now this was an Arizona and Southern California car, so that's actually incredibly clean under there. It's just a little dusty, no big deal at all. All right. Okay, here we go. I'll raise the window a little bit, and you see we have a bolt right there, but then there's another bolt right there. We'll go ahead and pop that out, and then the window will be loose. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, this is not the greatest view, but guys, I'm just going to reach through here. This is a 10 millimeter. We're going to undo this bolt here. This is going to release the window from the actual actuator. All right, got one screw out, or one bolt out there, and the other one is just right there. And hopefully we'll do this gracefully and not break the window. Okay. So I'm not actually going to remove the window, but what I can do, see, I can move it out of the way now and actually get access to this gasket to pull it out. There we go. See that? The window is not blocking it anymore. All right, there we go. There we go. There's that gasket. And we're just going to pull the gasket out of the track. See how it just comes out of the track? There we go. Pretty simple there. Now we'll have to remove the window again when we get over to this side, because it goes way down there. It frees it from the window runner. There we go. See the runner? There we go. See how it's no longer in there? And then I can proceed to pull this guy out of there. And there we go. See how it was in that channel? And then we're going to put our other one in there. Now before I pull, now we can see we're going to cut some off this side here because we have way more length than we need. Go ahead and push this corner into position. There we go. Cram that up in there. All right, we've got it finished and tucked in there. Look at that beautiful new felt. Fits in there perfect all around the door. You see it comes around here, and see that's a channel right there that the window goes into. Comes all the way down, and now we're down into here, and so we have to get it into, there we go, you can see the slack hanging down. We got to get it into the channel right behind there. Just push it in there, and then we will be done. So I'm going to go ahead and tackle that offline. There's really no good way to record that. I'll just get some long tools and stick down in there and press that in there, and then I'll put the window back in and show you how it works when it's done, and that'll be repaired. All right, we have the window back in, and we have the inner and outer felts back in. Let's get some grease here. We want to get up in here. We want to get up in here and grease up this window track really good. We'll put some on this gear right here. Get up in there. All right. Now let's run that. Let's run that up and down a little bit. Get that grease to go in there. Okay, now that we have the felt in and the track re-lubricated, let's go ahead and just watch the window. And we want to make sure it correctly goes up in the felt right there. Perfect. Now let's close it right here. And let's just watch it and see how the fitment is right here. There we go, good. See how it fits right? There we go, right into the felt. And down here, there we go, our felt is in the track right there. And we cut it just shy of the end right there. And we have a perfect fitment. And that's how you replace the window felt. Now what we want to do is lubricate our door strap. And basically we take out the door pin here and take out this bolt right here. And we can take out this door strap. And there's also 2 bolts over here on the end. So we'll go ahead and take that out and we'll lubricate that. That way the door strap will work for a very long time. There we go. And this door strap is in very good condition. You can actually see some of that factory grease that's all dried up. So we're going to glob a ton of grease down in there. Let's go over here to the workbench. Okay, so what we got here, we want to take a bunch of grease and just pack it down in there like that. I mean, you can't put too much in here, guys. These doors take a lot of abuse. There we go. Get a lot of grease down in there. There you go. See how I'm coating it all down in there? Then we'll flip this around. We'll get some right down here around the hinge. And I can tell this door strap has been replaced once already, because normally this is the body color of the car, and this is a different color right here. So that's good. Someone's already put in a fresh door strap for us. I guess the previous owner did that. But this is an original Mercedes part. All right. Now that that is all lubricated, there we go. That is going to last a long, long time. So let's go ahead and get this back in the car. On the pin that goes through the door, they had a, there you go, they had a normal E-clip on there. Let me zoom out a little bit. And here's the correct Mercedes clip. You can see the difference. It has a little tab right there. So when you're working on the car, you can grab that tab and pull it out. So we're going to remove that aftermarket E-clip and put an original Mercedes clip back on there. I'm just a little OCD. I want these cars to be exactly correct. And this is a nylon bushing. This nylon bushing goes between the pin and the, see right there? Let's zoom in. It goes between the pin and the connection piece on the door jamb where that strap connects. And that little nylon bushing was missing. The previous owner, when they changed the door strap, they probably dropped it. So let's go ahead and put these correct pieces back in there. All right. Now, just temporarily, this is not permanent here. I'm going to go ahead and just put one bolt right here just to hold the back in place. I'm not going to tighten it down. Okay. Now that that's there, we can put our pin back through the door. And we want to put a little bit of grease. We want to put a little bit of grease on that pin, and this nylon bushing right there, that goes between the door strap lever and the upper bracket that the pin goes through. It goes on the top side. So we'll go ahead and insert that. Let me grease this up. Okay, we just got some grease on our pin there. Now we're going to put the pin back through, and right before it slides through, we're going to put this nylon bushing right in there. Boom, right like that. Now let me wipe away the excess grease. There we go. Push that all the way through. Sometimes you got to tap it a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to put our correct Mercedes E-clip right on the bottom. There we go. There's the correct E-clip. All right, we have our door strap back in place. It's all lubricated. The window regulator is lubricated. The door felt is replaced. Let's check our door strap. There we go. There's position 1. Here we go. See it? There we go. It catches. See how it correctly, that's how you want it. And then it catches on that one. See? Catches there. Catches there. Oh, and the door shuts perfect. I realigned this bracket right here and put in a replacement rubber piece here so the door shuts correctly. Perfect. That's how you want it, guys. So let's go ahead and put the protective membrane around here. We'll glue it in place and then reassemble our door panel, and we're done servicing this door. All right, before we put the door card back on, we want to go ahead and change our master vacuum switch. This is for the door locks. There you go. You can see it right there. And we have 3 vacuum lines that come up into the switch. Here you can see we have our replacement switch. And these are made by, there we go, a replacement switch. And these are made by VDO. So we'll go ahead and take this switch off. And it's just a matter of taking out 2 screws here. These are common failure points on the vacuum system, so it's always good to put a new one in there if you take your door card off. So we'll go ahead and pop that guy out of here. And then we're going to take these vacuum lines off and put our new one in there. Put our little and then we just re-secure it with our sheet metal screws. And there we go. We got a new master vacuum switch on here. All right, guys, today I'm troubleshooting the vacuum locking system on this 83 wagon. Before I recorded, I went ahead and I noticed that this is the vacuum locking line right here, and I noticed it was disconnected right here and plugged off. So I went ahead and plugged it up, and I've started troubleshooting. I have the floor mats out, and I have a vacuum gauge, and I found the line that's actually leaking. It is, if we go underneath here, here we go. It's this line right here. Now, that is a green line, so I think that's the green is unlock. You can see there's green, there's red. Red is lock. So the lines come in through here, and then they shoot across to the passenger side. So what I did is identified that that's upside down. I know it's hard to see, but this is an unlock that goes to the passenger side, and this is the unlock that goes to the driver's side passenger door. And I plugged that off. After doing some other troubleshooting, I identified that if I plug that line off, so you have a golf tee in there and have it disconnected, then the vacuum system works. So I'm going to, and I put up a gauge, there's my vacuum gauge, onto this line, and it will not hold a vacuum. So from troubleshooting, that tells me that the actuator in this door is no good. So we're going to go ahead, pop off this door panel, take a look at the actuator. Okay, we have our passenger, our driver's side passenger door actuator out, and we can see that it's in the unlock position. So I'm going to go ahead and put my vacuum gauge, or vacuum pump, on the lock. We're going to watch this. Watch it move. There we go. It locked and it holds pressure. Now we're going to switch it to the unlock position and watch what happens. Nothing. I can pump all day long. See, it's trying to move. It's like bouncing up and down a little, but it is not moving. And upon further inspection, if we manually raise it, right there, that boot is torn. However, I don't think that's the actual, that could hold the vacuum in there, not sure, but that boot is torn. But we know that this will not extend. So that is the leak in our vacuum system. All right, just ran over to the parts warehouse and picked up a genuine Mercedes door actuator, door lock actuator. We'll see how this one works. Holds vacuum there. There we go. Let's go ahead. I manually extended it there. Here you go. Let's go ahead and close it. Beautiful. Holds vacuum perfect. And now let's go ahead and extend it. Beautiful. Holds vacuum perfect. All right. And it's nice and greased. I can see that. So let's go ahead and get this guy back in the car. We're going to go ahead and bring it down. There we go. And put it in the car, and we're going to inspect our vacuum system after this is installed. Okay, we have our new actuator installed there, and we have the lines. There's the vacuum lines. They're reconnected. And also, while we have this back door open, I'm going to put some grease back there in the door strap, because on the back doors you can grease it without having to remove it from the vehicle. All right, this is the stuff I like to use for door straps, moly graphite. And on the rear doors, as I said, you can access these to grease them without having to remove them from the car. So let's get some right up in here, and you can see it right there. We just want to get a bunch of grease up in there. Oh, there we go, nice. Let's get some more on the top up there. Here we go. Grease those up real good, and it'll make them last a long time. And don't be shy with it. Just coat it all in there. Here we go. See all that fresh grease in there? And there we go. All right. Now let's go do the other doors and get the plastic membrane back on here and reassemble our door panels. So this is also a good thing. See, I have the plastic membrane back on here. And this is also a good time to lubricate the window track. Get a bunch of good grease on there. And that'll last a very long time. Don't be shy, kick that stuff all over there. All right, now let's run it up a little bit. There we go. That is nice and lubricated now. Good, now let's seal this back up. I already sprayed on my adhesive. And there we go. That is a fully serviced rear door strap, regulator, and the actuator. All right, we have our door panel back on there. Oops, I forgot to put the metal trim piece back on right there. So let's go ahead and get this guy back in place. All right, there we go. Fully serviced door. Everything is back together. Got our trim piece back in there, and that is done. All right, time to service the front passenger door. And I'll probably just go ahead and put this in time lapse since you guys have already seen how it's done on the other doors. All right, we can see that this door has never been serviced because it has the original plastic membrane on here, and I can tell it's never been removed. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. And I want to check the condition of our actuator over here. And also lubricate and service the actuator and the door strap. Just fold that up here. And tuck it right down in there. There we go. And I'm going to pop off the vacuum lines on the actuator, and I want to test the health and condition of this side. Okay, that's the lock. Okay, it locks great, holds great vacuum. And it is unlocking, but I just want to make sure there's no leaks over here because there can be a very minor leak and it'll still work. Okay, actually, so it's working. However, there is a minor leak. See, it actually unlocked the door, but there's a minor leak. It will not hold. It will not hold vacuum. So we want to go ahead and replace this actuator also. Despite it working, there is a minor leak. So let's go ahead and make sure we address that. And there we go. To pop off this actuator, there's a retainer clip. You pop off there, and then you pull those back. And there we go. It's now released from the lock, this arm that comes down. It's a metal threaded arm. And then we're just going to take this one out. So that's interesting. It was working. I noticed it was a little bit slow, and that's why. It has a very minor leak in it. So I want this car to be perfect. So we're going to go ahead and resolve that and just put another one in here. You can get these things for like $50. I think my wholesale is like $37. You guys can buy them for like, I think $55. But we're going to go ahead and order a replacement to put in there. So while we have the door open, I'm going to go ahead and lower the window. And we want to grease. Let's go ahead and zoom in down here. There we go. There's our actuator arm right there. And you still see it has some of that factory grease on here. which is still in pretty good condition. It's a little sticky, so we want to wipe that off and re-grease that. All right, let's go ahead and wipe off some of that old grease. Get that out of here. There we go. And I just glob this stuff on. You can't put too much grease on here. Nobody ever messed up a car by over greasing components or changing their oil too much. All right, there we go. There we go. Get a little back. All right, now I'm going to attempt to grease this door strap. Yeah, I might be able to get a brush right up in there. Yeah, I can actually do that. I'm actually going to do it by putting it on my finger. There we go. Grease that up real good. Normally I take them out of the car, and today I just realized for the first time I can actually grease these in the car. Try that door strap. Beautiful. That's a very strong door strap. Okay, good. So this door is now serviced, and I just need to go place an order for another actuator. Like I said, that one was still working, but I did notice that lock was a little slow and it had a very slow leak on it. So once I replace that, we should have a tip-top vacuum system. Here we are the next day. I had to order the door actuator, the lock actuator. So I've got that installed in the car. You can see Mercedes changed the design a little bit from the original ones. They make it now where you push that down and you can pop out the threads or put the threads back in, and then you lock them in place by just raising up that. So it's a little easier with their new design, but that's a genuine Mercedes part, and we have it in the door. So now let's go crank up the vehicle and check our vacuum locking system. All right. So first thing we want to do is just give it a little RPM, because since we've had the vacuum lines off, the vacuum tanks are drained. So let's go ahead and charge things back up here. Let it run for a second. I'll just hold it around 2,000 RPMs for 10 seconds or so, and that should get our system nice and charged back up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and try the driver's lock. Cool, we can see the passenger now locks. And you guys missed that, but the driver now locked. I'll do it again. And there's the rear lock. So let's go ahead and pop this one up. Man, I'm not quick enough. So they are now raising back up. So let's see if I can just hold it over here, and when I lock it, all right, there we go. I just locked it, and there we go. That locks perfect. Now let's unlock it. There we go. It just raised back up. Awesome. Our vacuum system is now working perfect. Now what I want to try is make sure that the rear gas cap and the rear hatch are locking. So to do that, I'm actually going to lock the door from the outside. All right, we've locked it. We can see it correctly locked. And let's just make sure our rear hatch lock works. Ah, perfect. So it locked the rear hatch. And let's check the gas tank cap. Yep, there you go. That's locked. I can't open it. Now I want to make sure they unlock correctly. And if they do, we have successfully repaired the vacuum locking system. There we go, just raised up. So now this should be open. Perfect. And our gas cap should be Open. There we go. Perfect. So our lock-in system is now restored and working perfect. Let's go ahead and test the engine shut-off speed now. Mercedes says it should shut off within 2 seconds. So we're gonna count. Ready? 1/1000. Okay, so that's about 1.2, 1.3 seconds, something like that. We'll do it again. So that is a very, very healthy vacuum system. All right, ready? 1/1000. All right, just over a second, so that's great. Now I want to check, make sure when the system's off. Oh, wow, that's great. They all locked. So it is holding vacuum in the, perfect. It's holding vacuum even after the car is turned off. So this is outstanding. Perfect. That's great. So we have a perfectly restored vacuum system in our vacuum locking system, and we are good to go. So let's go ahead and reassemble our passenger door. First thing I want to do is re-glue our plastic membrane down. I've showed you guys this before. Just 3M Super 77 multi-purpose adhesive is great for this. And you can actually see where the factory had the glue. It's all the yellowing around the door. And I didn't disconnect it up here. So we just want to go spray over the factory glue marks. You want to be careful not to get this anywhere else because this stuff is sticky. And I always put a little bit right here just to hold it a little bit better. And a little bit right there. And there we go. That's it. Then we just want to unfold. And always start up here at the top. There we go. And basically I try to line up the holes where the little door card clips went through. I just line those up. And there we go. I'm going to press down the middle, and I'm going to put a little right here. There we go. Take that guy in place, or glue that guy in place. I'm going to put a little bit right there. There we go. Perfect. There we go, guys. That is factory original, exactly how it is supposed to be. A little bit more right here. Yeah, I'll just do that. Okay, we're done putting the door card back on. And guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. We did a lot in this video. Let's see, gosh, I can't even remember where I started. Oh, okay, we replaced the window runner. We lubricated all the door straps. We diagnosed and troubleshot the door locking vacuum system. We replaced the master vacuum switch. We replaced the door actuators, and we resealed and covered the original plastic membranes over the doors. And I might have done something else in the video, I can't remember. But that's all done. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think we're going to have maybe one more video on this wagon, and then it's going to be available on the website, and we'll do the test drive and the walk around video. This is one of the nicest wagons in the country, 77,000 miles. Amazing find. And I'm just about to wrap up a complete overhaul on this vehicle to make sure it's perfect when it leaves the shop. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.